To see a really cool screening. So, first off, let's introduce ourselves. So, who are we? Now, I am actually the guy on the left. My name is Evan. I'm a writer and actor, and I've been making films inside of virtual reality, or mainly VR chat, for about 7 years, including 2 features, one of which is going to be screening tomorrow, or not tomorrow, it's Sunday at 9:30, VR Digital Frontier, check that out. But yeah, we've been making VR content for many years now, and Survivor is, of course, one of our biggest projects. But let's introduce.
Hi, well, I'm Drowns. I'm the guy on the right. I am the producer of the show. If you don't know what the show is, if you've heard of Total Drama Island, it's kind of like that, but with furries. So if you like that show, I think you'll like this. I also apologize because we are playing episode 10 because it's our most ambitious one. I'm hoping it kind of gets people into watching the whole series. So there's going to be some stuff that you won't really understand, but if you do watch the whole series, you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I do all the editing, the model work, the directing, some of the writing. These 2 guys do most of the writing though.
What's up, people? I'm Exelon. I originally was not part of this panel, but here I am. I'm in the middle. I am a man of many things and master not many. I'm a writer, I'm an actor, I'm a producer, I'm technically an acting coach, I'm technically an editor, even though I haven't actually touched anything. I do all the confessionals. I'm a body double. But yeah, we've been doing this for coming up on 4 years. This has been 4 years in the making, and we are all a bunch of funny and strange men that have come together through VR chat, if any of you have heard of that. We're all donning Sheba avatars. If you're familiar with VR chat, there's a community called Sheba Squad. And that's how we met each other. And through our different experiences with content creation, both in and out of VR chat, we kind of all teamed together to create what you're about to see today. So with that, I'll pass the mic back.
Hi, I'm Jackson. I'm just a guy.
He's not on the picture, by
I'm not there. I play a character on the show whose name is also Jackson. I'm a very loud, very annoying guy who likes to eat a lot. I'm just me, it's kind of just me.
I often say the hardest working person on the show is actually Jackson's microphone.
Damn right, friend. Damn right. I'm just here because I love these guys, and I'm here to support them. So, woo!
Yeah, we just have a quick PowerPoint and then we'll start the episode. So, if you don't know what VR filmmaking is, it's basically just like, if you know what VR chat is, you can take a virtual camera and basically you can make a film just like real life. And it allows you to become very creative. But of course, there's a lot of, things that you kind of have to work around when it comes to VR filmmaking. We were also on Raindance Immersive, which was back in 2023, which was an incredible opportunity. Evan was also part of that. This was hosted by Joe Hunting.
Yeah, so basically to clarify, Raindance Immersive is one of the many film festivals that we actually have inside virtual reality, not just VR chat. There are some that are offsets, like if you guys know, Raindance is the biggest film festival in the UK, and they have their own offshoot called, again, Raindance Immersive. There are film festivals that are just centered around VR content, only done in virtual reality, but this is one, again, it was an offshoot of the actual Raindance Film Festival. And so this is a still from that, glad you had a cap on that, thank you. And then this is us, of course, we were premiering Sheba Squad Survivor Episode 5 back in 2023, that's what this was for. It was nominated for Best Short Film, didn't win, but still pretty good, still very fun, and it was one hell of an experience. I myself was also, he was saying that I was also, and then we both had projects. I had a music video called Witchcraft, That was also part of this thing. So it was fun having both of us having projects with Survivor and also other videos and meeting many different creators. Again, like Joe Hunting, who, if some of you, again, are familiar with the VR filmmaking scene, he made one film that got onto HBO. You can go watch it. It's called We Met in Virtual Reality. And then he also made a second film that it's on YouTube right now, but it also went to Sundance. Called Reality of Hope. I believe that's it. And but what are the perks of filming in VR? Again, some of you have used VR, some of you may not, or some of you are like, like, how does this work? Why use VR at all? And I'm going to tell you why. Now, what do you need to make a film? The basics, the very basics of doing, again, even if you have the smallest budget or are using your phone. Now again, sets, actors, cameras, and of course, editing software if you have one. This was for episode 10, this is what it looks like. But VR chat, not only I call the most expensive free game ever made, because it's free, but you have to buy VR tracking software or headsets. You don't have to, you can play on desktop, but if you actually want to move around, of course you need that. But it has a big filmmaker community, as we were just showing, with offshoots and festivals, and lots of assets, either custom or of things that already pre-exist, like riffs from worlds or other things. Again, you don't really have to worry about copyright when you're just making stuff for fun, putting it on YouTube. That's one of the best things about it. And again, there's just avatars, sets, plenty of things. It's like a big toy box for you to use. This, for example, and you don't even need a large amount of actors sometimes. For example, this was my very first film that I made when I was 17. It was Us and Them. This entire shot right here is me. You literally have, again, we're talking about cameras here, you place down the camera in virtual space, and it allows you to green screen everything except the actor. So what I did was that I basically placed down the camera and I green screened every single person you see, either repeating it or just going to a different spot and compositing that on top of this shot, so it looks like it's way more populated than it actually was, which was just one person. And again, these effects are basic. Green screen, blue screen, masking. These are things that even free editing softwares will allow you to have, which is very, very handy. And I'm going to give it to Joe real quick because he is definitely more knowledgeable about this. But again, if you create avatars or sets custom, that gives you a lot more freedom. Again, because whatever you have in the world or on the avatar is what you got. Props, weapons, clothing, that's all you have. But if you are able to have it be custom, that gives you so much more free range. And this guy has, again, he's made the sets, the props, so much of it all himself, and it gives us leeway that we wouldn't be able to use it, and I'm gonna let him explain that.
Yeah, so a major advantage of VR chat filmmaking is you can literally, anything in your imagination you can make on film. So the picture on the left is the island, that's the main island for the whole show. And then the picture on the right is the new set that we had to make for this new episode, which was made by Sardonyx. That's the exterior of the mansion. Unity Engine allows you to have particles, you can animate things and whatnot. Just any kind of even hidden toggles. Like if you wanted to have a prop that only comes on at a certain time, you could just toggle it on. And then here, this is episode 11. This is the newest episode that we have released. Just a little snippet of that. As you can see, this is a lot of creativity with the lighting and the screens. The screens are also animated and such. We won't get too far into that because I'm sure you guys want to watch the episode. Some other additional texture work is done in Substance Painter. If you make avatars, then you know what Substance Painter is and how it works. Sometimes in scenes when we want to really show what's going on and the conditions of what they're dealing with, Like for example, like they're in quicksand, so we textured dirt on them to make it look like they were covered in dirt. And another very creative part of what we do, back in episode 1, I decided to use mocap fusion. Mocap fusion is motion capture, which allows you to animate using full body tracking. There's some other worlds in VR chat that use it, like /co, and some other horror maps when they want a character that moves around and talks. But basically, I animated it and placed the animation onto the models and placed them onto the actual set and then toggled them on in VR chat. So then we could have people doing mundane things that actually aren't puppeteering the avatar. And we can go shot to shot and get everything done with a large group of people, because that is one of the biggest problems with VR filmmaking, is trying to get a crowd to help with filming, for sure.
And if I can add on to that real quick. Is this one on? Alright. But to add on to that real quick, actually, again, mocap fusion, what it does is that when you turn on the animation, to record, basically all your movements are recorded, and you're able to put that into a Unity project or Unreal or even Blender. So if you're a big 3D animator and want to try doing motion capture, you can definitely try mocap fusion. So again, like how he's describing is that he records all the different characters, and when we have like 20 people sitting around in one shot, which getting that many people in VR chat, let alone some people don't have full body tracking, so of course their legs won't move the way that we want to. It's such a good tool, and it makes it so much easier to be able to, again, control, leeway, customizing. That's what gives it such a better way of being more creative rather than just what's given to you in a world around an avatar.
Yeah, and to add on to that, mocap fusion is accessible through Steam. It's a free software, and they also have a Discord server if you ever run into any issues with that. So the show is still ongoing. We have a total of 18 episodes planned, and 11 are currently out, and we're in production of episode 12. And yeah, so the next slide is going to be the episode, so we will start that.
Should we dim the lights more?
Yep, we'll get those lights. Those pesky lights.